G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we are on sunken lands to watch two of the world's best players face off in the ranked ladder. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, it's been a while. How you guys been? It's been a long time. I'll say that right now. I have not been the healthiest, but the good news is I'm on the mend, and that means with the mend comes more casted games. Ladies and gentlemen, jeez, let's get into it. Let's introduce our players for today. Spawning in the west side of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Chinese, representing Team Liquid, it's Demu. And on the east side of the map, in the color red, playing as the English, it's Quit. I actually don't know how to pronounce his Korean name. The best way I could think of it is kind of like Kuwait, the country, but then just said really, really fast. Like if you say Kuwait enough times fast, like Kuwait, it's probably like that. Anyway, welcome to a caster game. Long time no see. So yeah, I've been a little bit sick lately. It's been a bit of a weird sickness. So it started out, I will just say right now that I have tried to cast dozens of games since I've been gone. And this is the first one that is going to get through to you guys. And that's because I say this in every single cast. And every single cast, it ends at some point. And the last cast that we did, it ended at about the 13-minute mark. Obviously, I haven't been posting them to YouTube because I'm not going to give you guys 13 minutes of a game. But who knows? Maybe this one is the one that makes it through. Anyway, yeah, so I've had a little bit of an illness lately. I don't actually know what it was. Basically, I got like puffy eyes. I got a puffy left eye, and then I got a puffy right eye. And then I went to see an ophthalmologist, and she's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're probably going to get sick. Anyway, she was right. I got sick. And I've just had like this cough that's just been with me for the last couple of weeks now, and it's just been very difficult to shake. And it just means that, you know, normally whenever you're like talking, if you're having a conversation with someone, it's quite simple because you just, you know, you clear your throat and you keep going on. But the problem is if you don't clear your throat, it starts to build up, and then all of a sudden it turns into a coughing fit. And anyway, that was sort of the issue that I was having. So look, I'm going to try and balance it out today. Hopefully this one, we're not going to have too many issues. But let's talk a little bit about this game. Now, first and foremost, I absolutely love this matchup. This is an old school matchup, a matchup that I'm intimately familiar with because I've mained both of these civilizations. So we've got an Abbey of Kings opening coming through from Kuwait. And we've also got Imperial Academy going to be coming down from Demu. Now, I expect to see the Barbican at some point. There's some really good positions to be putting it down. I wouldn't be putting it down up here. There's just a lot of food. I like food. You could probably do a Barbican out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see professional scouts coming through from Demu either, just because there is quite a bit of deer on this map. So looking to try and get out onto the map, looking to try and grab that away from the English player as well, because typically, they're not going to be looking to go for that deer early on. Now, one interesting thing to note is we do have an early stone coming through from our English player. So my suspicion is that it's probably going to be a 2TC into the White Tower, simply because this just makes the most sense, right? There's really nothing that you can do, at least from the Chinese perspective. Basically, the best thing that you can do is just kind of defend, right? Put the Barbican up at a good spot. This is actually a pretty good spot here. You get berries, you get gold. It's only a small gold, actually. I take it back. I kind of like this one at the front, but it's not really, it's kind of, you're exposed, and it's definitely not going to get down right now, because you've got to remember that we've got the Abbey of Kings on the way. So it's going to mean that Demu's going to need to age up to that Song dynasty relatively soon for him to actually get that up safely. So he might look at just doing something around here instead. Anyway, the age ups come through. Imperial Academy is down, and immediately we see that Imperial official coming out. Keep in mind that the Chinese, the OG Chinese, don't start with one like the Zhuxi Legacy do. So it means that you're going to have to train them. And of course, you don't want to train them from the town center, because if you do, then you're losing a villager. So it's much better just to wait for the Imperial Academy. This was something that was figured out by Puppy Paw, jeez, a couple of months ago now. It might have been a couple seasons ago now, even. He's been doing it for quite a while. And I tell you what, it definitely can make quite a bit of a difference. But it's also a bit of a gamble. If your enemy goes aggressive on your gold very early, it's going to mean that you don't have any way to access taxes. But the age up now, about to come through for Kuwait. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. As I said, I basically just looked at the Google translation. I was like, okay, how do I actually pronounce this? I've got no real experience with Korean whatsoever, except for just enjoying occasionally like the Korean accents, because my wife, she loves Korean drama, and just sometimes they're in the hospital and they're, it's just, I love it. Just, I can't get enough, you know. The Korean accent's really from the chest. You gotta, ooh. It's almost to an, that's probably a little bit too Japanese, I'll say right now. Anyway, second TC now gonna be coming up. Good little timing here as well. 5-minute mark for our English player. So not a bad little effort there from him. Yeah, I tell you what, I've missed Age of Empires 4 quite a bit, or at least I've missed being able to post content, because I'll be honest, I don't even look at my YouTube when I'm not posting content, because I don't want to see it, right? Like, for me, I want to be able to post content, I want to be able to read comments from you guys, and it's just like, it kind of breaks my heart not being able to do that. So I guess on the other hand, it's probably my fault for not like having a big backlog of content just in case I get sick. Anyway, look, let's talk about that. More talk about what we've got here before us. Now, on one side, we've got this mighty king that is making his way out across the map. On the other side, professional scouts is currently coming through. Already got the stable down, not to mention the archery range as well from demo. So looking to mix things up. Of course, the stable going to help out quite a bit for the professional scouts. On the other side of the map, we did see that deer push coming through. So it means that there's 5 less deer out here for Demo to actually take away from his opponent. And we've got a second deer push coming through. So really looking to push it to the limits right now. We've got Kuwait, that is for sure. And the first villager could actually go down here. He's not actually blocking it. I think it should make it. It does make it inside the town center, and it doesn't look like it's gone down. And I think we might actually have ourselves a dead king there. Very, very greedy coming through from Kuwait, but unfortunately, he is going to be losing that demo very masterfully, making sure that villager manages to survive and like just giving it enough bait. I don't like the fact that he's now got the same low health villager out here, but to be honest, there's nothing that really threatens it. I guess that's another consideration. I say that, and he's literally crowning another king right now. So this could be a little bit of trouble out here. But keep in mind, he's got lots of scouts. He's got units coming out as well. He's looking to put on early control. And I think this makes a lot of sense, right? Especially when you're playing up against the English, right? The reality is they're going to want to get out onto the map. They're going to want to get that early castle timing in. They're going to want to try and get those the monastery up, get the monks out. And ideally, you want to punish them and stop them from doing that, at least stopping them from doing that naked. Now, of course, if we go for White Tower, we're still going to have the ability to train knights, so we are going to be able to at least contest these relics. But the reality is, I think at this stage, Demo needs to drop that second TC. He's not even going for a second TC, which is quite curious. We don't have a Barbican coming out yet either. Now, I don't know how much he knows. I don't know whether he knows about the second TC of his opponent, but I would suspect that he probably does. And you can see right now, he's looking to force back this scout, preventing that deer from being pushed in underneath the town center. He's actually just going to take the deer out instead. Makes a lot more sense, and we can see quite a few units rallied out across the map. Demu looking to commit a little bit now to that feudal age component. Scouts running down towards that south side of the map. The king in the middle, able to pick up an archer. We'll be able to pick up a second one here as well, so not a bad little bonus for our Korean friend. He's not really Korean, he's actually English, but his name's Korean. Does it make you Korean if you play with a Korean name? Probably not. I mean, maybe if you're from Korea. Anyway, age up about to come through now for our English player. About 3 food away from that age up. He's got a nice little spot right here, smack bang in the middle of these two town centers. Want to make sure that you protect them both. Actually, that's the spot right there. It looks like he's going for. No, he's going very, very deep with this one. And this is something that you do need to be cautious about. But the good news is, he's got this king out here. This king is definitely baiting away Demo. That is for sure. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to have to clear. I'm just going to have to do my things over here. Give me a second here. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I bought myself another 5 or so minutes. So I'm transitioning back into this full-time casting. Just keep that in mind. I've had quite a few days off where it's just like, you know, the reality is, oh, there's the Barbican now going to be coming down. Beautiful little spot here. Yeah, quite a few days off, because the reality is sometimes I just know, you know, it's not going to be able to happen. But here, King, unfortunately, escapes for Demo. Now we're looking to work down these villagers. Also, that villager is going to go down. The White Tower now coming up online. No vills popped inside. Able to do some decent damage, and he gets up safely. Beautiful timing here from him as well. A 9-minute 25 timing on that White Tower. So really well timed here by our English player. And now from here, it's pretty easy sailing. So I would suspect it's going to be knights. Indeed it is. There should be a monastery coming down soon. There it is. And from here, he's going to look to try and pick up relics. And you got to keep in mind that on Demu's side, we've only seen archers and horsemen. And this means that there's no real way to deal with these units. It means that he's going to have quite a lot of presence out on the field. He should be able to start putting pressure onto the villagers. And naturally, that's going to mean the units get brought back. That will give him map control. And subsequently, he'll be able to pick up relics. And I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up all 5 relics, because that Barbican has just gone down. He's also going for a second TC. This is a really strange opening. I'll say that right now, because for me, the concern is that you've got like this almost mismatch of tempo, right? From on one side, Demu, he opened up very conservatively and then kind of went into tempo. But because of that, he was not able to catch the English player off guard by the time they hit their breakpoint. Their breakpoint obviously being the White Tower. And we could see he was just a couple seconds away. But unfortunately, he invested heavily in the early stages of the game. We saw that professional scouts come through, and that may have cost him, because it now means that the opponent is in the Castle Age. And once the Castle Age is through, like, could you imagine realistically if he was able to get here when this White Tower was at 40%, 50%? Would have been a different ball game. But we do now start to see spears out on the map. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, have we got any monks out? There we go. First monk now out on the map. And spears towards that front, doing quite a bit of work here. So something that you want to avoid typically are these spears, just primarily because with your knights, you've got that speed. And as long as you're able to continue moving around the map and finding these villages, the spears will be following you in tow. So you should be able to sort of guide those units. But take a look at this. Towards the north side of the map, we've got more deer coming through. So plenty of deer going to be on the way here for Demo. He's going to have lots of food. And keep in mind, he's got that extra 20% that's coming in off the Imperial officials. On top of that, survival techniques going to be buffing up the gathering rate by 15%. It's actually, I think it might be higher than 15%. I'll have to check myself before I wreck myself. Night now comes through. It looks like Imperial official's going to go down. Honestly, people target the Imperial official. I feel like it's a mistake. Sure, they're more expensive than a villager, right? Like, we're talking quite a bit more. But the reality is, you take out a villager, that villager is gone forever. You take out an Imperial official, that bad boy's back in 20 seconds. And I can already hear people saying, well, hold on a minute, I can just rebuild a villager instantly. And it's like, yeah, you could. And guess what? You would have built that villager anyway in the first place. So therefore, it's like you've actually lost a villager. Until you get up to your vill cap, which is like, what, 130, 140, it's basically gone for that entire time. Eventually, you'll rebuild it, sure. Clock tower now coming up. Not a bad little timing here as well, about 12 minutes 40, somewhere in that region. And now I think for me, the question is, do we have an Imperial Age that comes in? Because when we think about, like, from a checklist perspective, what do we want to do in the Castle Age as the English? Well, we want to get knights out, we want to get map control, we want to gain relics. That's pretty much it. There's not really much more that we need to do. We can just go straight up into Imperial Age, look to pick up the Wingguard. We're going to be happy campers. But speaking of camping, have a look at this. Demo. With the age up now coming through, we could potentially see some siege. But, of course, it is quite expensive. He does have the 2 TCs, but it hasn't been for a particularly long time, so yet to really reap the rewards that have come from that. Meanwhile, we also have Lumber Preservation. First upgrade coming through. Knights on the top side. Vill's going to be going down here almost certainly. It's the first Vill of the game that goes down at the 13-minute mark. Vills make it inside the village. Spear's here to help out. Now onto the wood line. He's continuing to move through, but unfortunately, Quick Wall's going to end up walling these villagers out quickly. But it does look like he's got a little bit of a pincer movement in here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. Spearman unable to catch these knights. Wall gets deleted, and the knights make it out alive. 4 villagers went down, but keep in mind, Demo, he's got 2 TCs. He'll be okay. He'll be all right. He'll be able to catch up. He is behind quite a bit, though, at this point. Behind 10 villagers, and that is with the Song Dynasty bonus. So eventually he'll get there. It's just going to take some time. Meanwhile, towards the south, plenty more scouts down here. Wait, where are these? Oh, that's not good. I was going to say, that is not the fight right there that you want. Oh, he loses the one. Loses the one. That is actually the 4th relic right now. 5th relic is out here. You can see Demo camping it up. He knows how important it is to try and win a little bit of relic balance. And we can see towards the north, it could be a 2nd relic that he will be able to pick up. Now, what happened with these deer down here? Did they get pushed? Is that what's happened? Because, is it these deer over here? Surely not. It's got to be something. There is something going on here. Either that or we're a little bit confused. It could be either one. Maybe we've just got some invisible deer. The UFO tech has made its way to the deer. It wouldn't be the first time, I'm sure. Spears now jostling towards the middle of the map. And the English now looking to build up quite a bit of a healthy base of units here as the longbows together with the crossbows going to start working down the spear on the front. More and more lancers, rather knights, looking to join the fight as well. We can see plenty of them coming up now into the double digits. And Demu could be in a little bit of trouble, but no. He's got plenty of infantry on that backside, and it looks like he's going for a killer combination. Spearman crossbow. Very scary. When this starts to get high up in numbers, especially when you combo it with something like the Nest of Bees, it can be very difficult to deal with. Now, you'll have to excuse me for a moment. I'm just going to take a quick drink from my water bottle. I appreciate there's a battle going on right now. All right. We'll try and do it. We'll try and do the battle. Come on, give me a second here. Well, micro, a little bit of a mistake right here. From I was gonna say from Qatar. That's not right. Kuwait. Kuwait. There we go. We got it right. We're gonna start bringing all of the Middle East into this. Typically something you want to avoid, especially at a time as tumultuous as this. Spears chasing down these longbows. Longbows doing a decent job though, able to take them out one by one. Falling back now to the White Tower. We can see, have a look at the resources in the bank here for our English player. Definitely seems like Imperial Age is looming. Speaking of looming, my drink bottle has been looming in my hand for the last minute, so I'm just gonna, don't mind me. Oh yeah, you know it's the good stuff. It's the good stuff. 8%. No, I'm just kidding. That's 100% water. That is definitely good. Now, Demu's got himself a nice little timing here. The only issue is, and I'll say this right now, it's a bit delayed, that's all. Because that second TC, if you can hit that second TC timing at like 6 minutes, it means that the economy timing is going to be really quite strong around now because you've had that second TC operating for 10 minutes. Whereas the reality is this has only been operating for maybe about, what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes at this point. So a significantly lower vil count, significantly lower economy, significantly lower unit count. That's how the translation goes. But speaking of translations, fertilization is on the way. Will it actually get through? It looks like it will. No actual damage done until it was finally researched. Still no age up on the way just yet for Kuwait. Meanwhile, back towards the main base, we've got ourselves archers together with spears. There's not enough spears here, but the reinforcements should be able to take it out. Meanwhile, towards the main base of English, men-at-arms are starting to come out now, looking to assist. Now, one thing to note is we've got longbows on the defense. Incredibly powerful defensive units. Not particularly strong against siege, but the good news is there's no siege in this army. It's spears, it's crossbows. And that's a bit of a problem here for Demu. Now, heading back towards his base, it looks like his opponent hasn't been particularly successful with the raids. Only one villager going down throughout this. Meanwhile, over towards that right side of the map, the momentum continues to build here for Demu as his opponent chases him out of the base and all of a sudden runs a sticky kind of race here. Now, Demu does he is starting to have palace guards on the field. At the moment, currently sitting at 2. Not a whole scary amount of them, so hopefully we see that number increase. Either palace guards, I mean, realistically, how are you going to deal with this? Palace guards is probably going to be the best way. There's always going to be that mix of crossbows with the longbows, so just keep that in mind. And now we've got ourselves some spearmen running from the knights. Not going to be the case. He's picked it up. They've both picked it up immediately. And finally, the farm transition comes down. 18 minutes. And, you know, this is something that I guess just really speaks volumes as to how powerful the economy of the Chinese is. The fact that, consider this, right? Demu has been stealing food from the entirety of this map, been bringing it back to his base, and despite that, he's still got absolutely no food in the bank. His economy is strong, but it's a little bit too strong. It eats through the food very quickly, and that's part of the reason why he needs to move into farms, despite it only being 19 minutes into this game, because it's very often that players will go professional scouts and still be on those deer for 20, 21, 22 minutes even. But nice little kiting coming through. I'd love to see an outpost out here. We can see there was previously an outpost out here. Now going to be picking up that nice little network of castles bonus. But I tell you what, it could definitely use a little bit more of an assistance the further out. If you're going to push out like that, definitely the right call. Still plenty of resources in the bank, but not quite enough to hit that Imperial Age button just yet. Demu almost certainly looks like he's going to be committing to the Castle Age at this stage. And you can see he's going to definitely be following his opponent on the age up rather than leading his opponent. Now, it looks almost certain like these knights on the south side of the map will be able to get through down here. Vils are working to try and build this wall as quickly as they can, but just seconds to spare. The knights are able to make it inside, and with this is going to be a huge loss for Demu. That's 2 Vils 3 vills about to go down. 4 vills, make it 5 vills. Plenty of vills. We're in double digits now. And the spears come through on the backside. Meanwhile, towards the south, plenty more fighting happening. Nest of bees, a little bit of a misfire right there. Continuing to move forward. It's got to watch out now for that men-at-arms. They're going to be the primary damage dealers here up against these knobs. But ideally, we'd like to see for Demo, if he's going to push like this, I mean, this is where it gets kind of hard as the Chinese playing into this matchup, because you really have to appreciate and respect the power of the English defense. Keep in mind, you want to play spearman, crossbow, nest of bees. The only trouble is, you can't really kill this bad boy right here. You're going to need something to help with that. So whether that means siege engineering coming through from the blacksmith, we don't have it yet, but it could be a possibility. That would definitely help out. You know, 4 or 5 rams would be more than enough to be able to take that out. But the reality is at the moment, there's really not enough building, killing power, especially powerful buildings like the White Tower. Towards that top side, outpost starting to come up. Exactly what we need to see. Interestingly, it doesn't look like there's any vills moving out towards it just yet. So perhaps it was a previous outpost that was put down. Speaking of outposts towards the south, another outpost going to be going down. Mining camp as well, and double in fact. And now towards the middle of the map, men-at-arms bracing the front. Nice little kiting coming through from the longbows. Standing their ground for the moment. And now continuing to return fire. The Nest of Bees trying to get some shots off there. Not really finding too many big hits. Vil goes down. Outpost goes down. So we did indeed find it. And now lit up by the network of castles. The network of citadels upgrade has come through. And with this, the extra attack speed is going to be really providing quite a bit of bulk to this English army. At the moment, Demo with a slight lead on that military count, but the men-at-arms, keep in mind, they do have that armor cladding that has come through. So they've got an extra little bit of oomph that is going to be translating over to hopefully a strong English defense here, because we don't want to see a game finish at 21 minutes, that is for sure, but Demo's going to try and do his best to do it. Still fighting outside the radius and the range of the White Tower. But now those men-at-arms will be able to make it through onto the backline, and you can see just how powerful that English defense has been. That extra attack speed on these units has really helped him climb through and manage to take this battle out. There's 3 Nest of Bees that are here. Almost certainly all of them will be going down. Meanwhile, towards the north, the reinforcements continue. Looks like this wall down towards the south side of Demu's base did finally get completed, but at what cost? We've now seen 3 Nest of Bees all taken out. That 4th Nest of Bee towards the north will be routed back towards the safety of the walls. Crossbows attempting to run away, and this is part of the issue that you have in this matchup quite often, is the question of how you deal with the men-at-arms. How do you deal with this unit, a powerful unit? And the answer that I typically find in this matchup is that you need to outmaneuver them. You can't fight them mono-e-mono. You can't fight them head-to-head. If you do, you will lose. The men-at-arms is too strong. They've got that extra armor, which really just makes them difficult to deal with. If we compare the stats between the two, everything else is pretty similar. The primary difference, though, is that extra armor that they get, not only from their armor cladding, but also from the lower armor that the palace guards get. So in the head-to-head battle, it definitely makes it difficult. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, it looks like we've got some units that have gone through to the back line. Plenty of stables coming up on the other side of the map, though. The age up coming through. It's going to be the Wingard Palace here for our English player. Back towards the west side of the map, and the kiting continues. Now that knob moving forward, you can see how little damage it's taking. It's got that siege experts buff coming through from the clock tower. And in the end, looks like it will go down to the longbows. So a little bit of a misplay there, not having the repair soon enough. Another Imperial official goes down. I think that's the second one that we've seen. And there's the age up now coming through. And which way does it go? Now, keep in mind, this is not the House of Lancaster that we're witnessing here. So you're not going to be seeing that amazing, what's it called? The retinue? The King's retinue? I can't remember exactly the name of it, but it's pretty good. You're not going to be seeing that. Maybe we see some rangers today. What do you reckon? Will we see some rangers? Well, how about enclosures? Let's start with enclosures. We'll get you some enclosures. And I'm just going to take a quick swig of my water. Give me a second here, folks. That is good water. That is good water. All right, we're at 24 minutes. I haven't made it this far in a cast before. I think previous record was 21. So there we go. So we're doing well. We're doing something right here. More upgrades on the way through. You can see it's going to be cannon emplacements. Trying on the front line here to get through the fortification. Good luck to him. And now keep in mind, elite upgrades are about to pop as well. Longbowmen moving into elite. He's just pretty much full on longbow with just a couple of men-at-arms being thrown through. And there's the elite upgrade with that, a little bit of extra health, a little bit of extra attack. And it could make all the difference. It could be the key to puncturing the armor of the opponent. Now able to kite all the way. Yeah, you can see the damage that he's able to do now all of a sudden. Beginning to move up towards that Nesta B. A little bit too far forward. No Vills brought up either. Cannon emplacement not yet clicked. We don't see it. Plenty of Vills back here, actually. And now that Nesta B. Where did the... Is this a different... This has got to be a different Nesta B, right? There's no way that guy healed back up to full. All sacred sites taken. Demo looking in a prime position here. Outpost. Looking to fire down upon the keep. Second outpost on the south. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We got ourselves a little bit of a race right here. Now, keep in mind, this is a large English army. We've got the Rangers that have finally arrived. Do we have more on the way? No, it looks like we've got the Wingard army on the way. The cannon emplacement about to come through, about to end Demu's day, about to rain down on his parade. Oh, it's fired off at the Monk. Unfortunate timing right there. It could be the difference between the keep getting up and the keep going down. Second shot went for the Monk, but never mind. The keep's fallen anyway. 102 Vills. Demu's got the opportunity right now to just bring out a whole bunch of Vills and try and secure this, but he's cancelled the keep instead. And instead of really looking to double down and commit, he's going to play it a bit safer. He was hoping that he could pull off a potential sacred victory here, but probably realizing it's not going to be in the cards, at least not at the moment. Continuing to kite away from these men-at-arms, the longbows petering at them. Petering? I don't know if that's the right word. Could be the right word. Pitter-pattering. We'll go with pitter-patter. Like, they're raining down. Have a look at the number that he's got. The longbows are starting to rise, and now somehow, some way, there's an outpost somewhere? How's he got this buff? No, there's a buff somewhere. They're all glowing golden, but perhaps it's a different type of buff. It's not the buff I'm thinking of. I got excited. I thought he built an outpost right up in the front line, because that's something I love to see. Now, one key thing to note with this map is you've got this beautiful sacred stealth forest. Let's go with that. This stealth forest is the most sacred stealth forest there has ever been. It's passed down from my uncle to to me. Not really. Great Wall Gatehouse about to come online. I like this one. This is a good one. You know, often for me, the Great Wall Gatehouse, it seems like it's such an easy one, right? But the amount of times you see pro players muck it up, it's sad, right? And this right here, this is a great Wall Gatehouse. It's a great Wall Gatehouse. Let's just go with that. Potentially the greatest. I will say that right now. So what's it doing? Number one, it's defending his flank. This is very important. Number two, it's also defending his farms, which are on his flank. So this is really good. Basically leads him to the potential for an expansion of this wall. So overall, just a really good positioning on this. But now towards the front, we can see the keep here. He's going to do his best to try and keep this position defendable. Now, keep in mind, he doesn't really have a whole lot of access to gold. Gold's going to be the main problem that he's got here. Age up's coming through. Keep in mind, he's got tax. He's only got the single relic in the bank, so it's not like he's got a whole lot of passive gold that's going on. And he's up against enclosures on the other side of the map. Also, important to note, trade posts, absolutely terrible on this map. One of the worst trade posts you'll ever get. The only way this could be worse is if it was in the middle of the map. And even then, it's still probably better. Not really. So we got 3k down here. We got 2.6k down here. 3.1k. And we've got complete English control, with the exception of the 1209 that sits here. Am I missing anything? There's got to be something I'm missing, right? Give me a sec. I got to get more water and do one of these. Excuse me. Had a bit of a cough. Now I'm just going to have some water. I can't believe it, boys. We're finally going to do it. It's been so long. It's been so long that we haven't casted a game all the way through. Nesta B number looking good back here. I'm a little bit worried about this army, though. All of a sudden, Demu's army is looking a bit concerning. With this keep falling, this is going to really raise the stakes here. Or I guess you could say it lowers it all of a sudden. Next up, it's going to be the Imperial Palace. Keep in mind, it's got the Spire's ability. Doesn't really make that much use at the moment. He just sees a whole bunch of units out here. All of a sudden, he's looking for gold. He's thinking, okay, where can I find some gold? He's got plenty of stone in the bank. He's going to throw down the keep. He's got 2.3k on this one. That'll definitely be something to help him out, but he's in a bit of a hard spot, right? Like, the reality is he did a decent job in securing territory, but the territory that he secured wasn't particularly valuable. The sacred site was great, but at the end of the day, the real value comes from the gold. And the fact that he lost that keep If he'd put that keep down first, it would have been a completely different story. And on the side of Kuwait, it was just the fact that he was able to deny that from his opponent. It's meant all of a sudden that Demu's in a difficult spot here. Look at the gold that he's generating, 469 a minute compared to 2,000 gold a minute. And all of that gold is just going to get turned straight into units. It's probably just going to be men-at-arms, but it's still, hey, it's men-at-arms, man. And now in the back of the base, we've got ourselves a little bit of a chase. Everybody's chasing a single man-at-arms. Nesta B numbers still looking decent. He's at 4 at the moment, 178 population against the 195. Holding on for dear life. No, not his last relic. That's -1 relic for Demu, +1 for his opponent. And all 5 relics now go over to the English. Wingard Rangers at the front of the base. Looking strong, looking to hold it down. Meanwhile, towards the back, still cleaning up the remnants of it. And I want to just say right now, I love the fact that Demu is holding and not looking to fight. Oh, he's going for this. Oh, it's a horseman. They're only horsemen. I got so excited. I thought they were fire lancers for a second. I really did. Are they? No, there's 44 of them. So he's going to get out on the map. The idea here, he's not going to be going after the enemy landmarks, that is for sure. He's just trying to distract the enemy, just trying to pull the enemy back. Needs to buy himself a bit of space, needs to buy himself a bit of time. The reality is, though, how does he get back into this without gold? He's got 1,100 gold at the front. He's got the gold towards the south. He's potentially got a way back into that, and he knows where the enemy farms are because of the spies from the Imperial Palace. So he did get that, definitely some decent value from that landmark towards that west side. We continue to see the men-at-arms. And the Vil count is starting to fall. Have a look at this. He's taken out 40 villagers at this stage of the game. Make it 41, 42, 43. He's crossed that magic number. So he's now taken out more villagers than his opponent. He's also got more villagers as well. So if he survives this game, Vils need to jump inside. Vils need to jump inside those Vils. He's actually doing a wonderful job back here, cleaning this up. Another 50 Vils now taken out. Meanwhile, towards the south, he finally got the memo. Sacred sites are both taken by our English player, and we are witnessing something of greatness right here. There is a lot of action in this game. This is one of the highest packed action games that we have seen this year. I will say that right now. What month are we in? We're in June, so I mean we've seen quite a few games this year. Yeah, I mean at this stage, it's looking good. This is scary though. Dealing with this, at this point you need cannons. There's no way that you're dealing with this or bombards. There's no way you're dealing with this without bombards. So I think that's probably going to be the best way. When I say that there's no way you're dealing with it, there's no way you're dealing with it cost effectively, right? Like we can obviously put 1,000 spears towards this, but we're going to lose quite a bit in our attempt. Horsemen now running through. Multiple sets or squadrons of horsemen coming through. Villager count, have a look at this. Now keep in mind he's got a huge amount of resources in the bank, so this can be a bit scary because remember, every single villager you kill is a potential men-at-arms the enemy can make. And with 100, or with the potential for 130 men-at-arms right now, you better hope that Demu's got a way to defend this. Ideally, I'd love to see a keep for him right here. He needs a keep here with boiling oil. That's what he really needs. Another thing to note is, like, even though the Great Wall Gatehouse was great down here, hasn't really done much yet. And it's a bit more of, it's a deterrent in this situation. Longbow's now firing off towards the center. We got the Rangers teeing off. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Demu is looking to raid his opponent to death. 70 villager kills now in this game. More than 40 villager the difference. Finds the bombards. That's the first one down. Second one probably going to go down as well. Turns around, says, nope, I'm going down with the ship. That's 2 bombards down. A couple Trebs still back here. He's only got the 1. Meanwhile, towards the front, the Nesta Bees also out here as well. They're going to be firing off, and you can just hear those cannon emplacements continuing to go through. This outpost never got dealt with. A single bombard would have been the difference, but unfortunately, we haven't seen it on the field. Hand cannoneer numbers starting to build here for Demu as well. 34 minutes into this game. He's in a bit of a struggle position. Men-at-Arms going to be connecting here with the Nesta Bees, and with that, it's going to be difficult for him to keep these alive. Vils going to need to be pulled. Indeed, they are. Horsemen now looking to try and reinforce this position. Vils now managed to make the repair. They need to bring those Nesta Bees up to the front. Indeed, he does. Good connections on the back line. Very well held for Demu at the moment. It's looking good. It's looking strong. Keep in mind behind this, he's done a great job with raiding. Still 85 Vils for the opponent. Look at the military. Oh, God, look at the English numbers. Look at the English numbers. More than 100 military pop right now, and it continues rallying towards the front. The men-at-arms, the Horde, the Zerg continue to make their way towards the Chinese base. Slowly creeping through. The horsemen try and make a connection with all of these backline units, but the men-at-arms are doing the exact same thing on the other side of the battlefield. Hand cannoneers trying to deal with them as best they can. But in the end, it looks like the nest of bees will go down, and the men-at-arms just going to continue chasing them and for the rest of their lives. That's all they're destined to do. And now, continuing to move forward, all the horsemen have gone down. The spearmen able to take them out. A beautiful play here from Quate. And Demu now struggling to keep himself alive. That head above water is slowly going to start sinking. The nest of bee number down to 2. The bombard going to be moving forward. He's going to try and snipe them out. The Vil should be able to repair it, so he should be able to get through it. The trouble that he's going to have is this critical mass of English longbows and English wingard rangers. You can see right here. Have a look at the amount of range that they've got on them. 8 range. So able to really snipe out the enemy from here. I'll be honest with you guys. I was going to call them yeomen. I was going to call them yeomen. And I was like, I'm not going to call them yeomen. I know they're not called yeomen, but it was just what my brain said. It was like, here, we've got some yeomen. Like, you just know it. You know what they are. Anyway, beautiful numbers once again coming through from Quate here. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Quate takes out Demu in this rank ladder battle. Ladies and gentlemen, go check them out. We are finally back. Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to be doing a lot of casting tomorrow. If I can maintain this, I'm going to be feeling good. Anyway, go check them out. Links are in the description. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.